a throw. And I guess as much as it's a dead rubber match, the good thing as well for Denver and for New York if they're smart, because New York's got 13 new rookies as well, is to get those new players, get them on the ball. There's nothing to win. You can't win the title from here or for either side to move positions, but at least get some experience and some time on the ball from players who may have been playing in some more quieter positions throughout the tournament. And a hurry snap-on goal is away to the left and will register as a minus score. So that's 2 for Denver, 0 for New York.
Kick in for the New York Magpies. And the other thing outside that, Peter, and we saw this in the last match, which also really had no effect on the final standing for either team, the New York Sacramento. New York has both Emily Reel and Katrina Scherer, who are both getting game experience. It is likely that they very well, both of them, may be selected for the USA Freedom team, which will be announced a little bit later on today. The teams that are going to International Cup. Meanwhile, a 25-meter penalty off the free kick that was awarded. Chris Adams has picked something out, and he is blowing the ball forward, and now it will be Sarah Chimilak who will square up and try and kick the first major of this game off of 1 foot. Doing, it's a Wilbur post. Hello. And that is their third minor score of the game. 3-0 Denver. We are about midway through the first half of this final game. The San Francisco Iron Maidens have already wrapped things up. This one's just for pride, Peter.
And of course, if you ever met a horse, of course, a talking horse,
I have.
Mr. Ed, a great TV show. As the ball is now with Hallie Adrian. I was going to say Hallie Lee, now Hallie Adrian, obviously, of the Denver Bulldogs, who did join us in the girlsplayfooty.com podcast recently. Her kick, though, is away to the left-hand side, or did it squeeze in? No, left signals the umpire, 1 behind. So that moves it on to 3 for Denver. They're 3 behind. 4, pardon me. I'll correction that. 4. 4-0, Denver leading New York as the ball is kicked back into play on the outer side. Coming out to try and meet the ball there, I think, was Hargrave. Was at her feet, couldn't quite pick it up. Umpire comes in to blow the whistle, and we'll call once again for a ball up. Interesting to see also that for the New York side, because there's not much to play for, they have got a few guest players in there. Emily Reel from Baltimore Washington Eagles, as well as Karen Stabelin and Alexandra Pike. You can also throw in there from, is that Colorado? Shearer. Columbus. Katrina Scherer, which you of course called earlier, had a fantastic tournament, and Heather Serpico, a former New York player, but of course now playing for the Portland Sockeyes, who won Division II today.
Yes, they did, and they did a fantastic job, and that's the second year in a row that the Portland players have been involved in Division II National Championship. That ball is high, it's taken by the wind, that's marked, and marked nicely by Lindsay Kastanek, and this will be a tough angle. She may have to come off to the right here to try for it. Again, 4 behinds looking for their first goal of this one. Umpire Chris Adams lining her up. So here is Kastanek. The kick is on the way. It is through. And it is through for another minor score. So Denver is in need of a compass or some sort of directional device. On the Cooper scoreboard, it is 5-0, all minor scores. As they kick the ball back into play, up the middle of the ground. It is marked there by Eastlake. That one goes off the side of her foot. Algozin wasn't ready for that, and all of a sudden found herself chasing the ball out of bounds. It'll be a boundary throw-in about 30 meters or so from the Denver target.
And we wait for the ball to be thrown back into play. Going in there, again, Clark tried to bring the football to ground. In fact, it was Monique Flair, pardon me. And the ball got squeezed out. Hazen stole it, got on the right boot, went for the empty goal square. Which way will the ball bounce? It stays out right, doesn't go through. And Singer, I just want to be a singer in a rock and roll band. She kicks it long, but unfortunately wide and out of bounds in the full when she was trying to find Koplo. I think it might be Jess Gray from a distance that's got that free kick. You've got the binoculars there.
I believe you are right. That is Jess Gray.
Thank you very much. I've got all the questions, but your Jeopardy, you've got all the answers. As the ball is now kicked long. Now trying to find the player there in Algozin. Couldn't quite pick up pardon me, that's the wrong side, pardon me, I should say. Nita Hoda couldn't quite pick the football up. Ball still in dispute as Clark now kicks the ball off the ground on the half-back flank position. Coming in hard to meet her was Skazani. And Skaneshny.
That's okay.
I'm gonna have to get her a nickname.
That's it. You can just call her Lauren. Apparently she does things. Just like the steak expert, Lauren does things.
I don't know what though. But anyway, there's the I do things, you do things.
We all do things.
You know, when it's getting that late in the day, and there's a player down for the New York Magpies.
Oh, I don't think it's good. Rolling over.
Long white sleeves as well.
Oh, that would be Hargrave, and Hargrave's gotten banged up a couple of times, actually in the last match as well.
And as well as we were saying earlier that for the San Francisco Maidens, Melissa Armstrong probably has a mouthful of dirt. She's been buried into the ground that many times through the tournament. Some of those in and under players just keep putting their body on the line again and again and again. Baumgartner nearby. Umpire calls for a throw and says that will be a Magpies free kick and a chance for them to try and clear out of defence.
The difference is Melissa Armstrong has a mouthful of dirt, but she also has a championship medal around her neck.
Indeed. Emily Riel trying to find Koplo. Bulldogs send it back in once more. Monique Flair just at her knees. Can she pick it up? She went left and she went right. Went for a little topo kick when she was trying to find Hazen. Hazen puts her head over the football. Can't pick it up though. Trying to fight in hard and scrap for it there was Drugi. But the ball is sent back out once again. Now coming in there, the Denver Bulldogs. Swinging around on the left towards the top of the square. One by the Cherry. Couldn't hold on to it. Big tackle laid on by Castanek, and a ball they cry. The umpire said there was no prior opportunity. We're going to call for a ball up in the goal square. Denver Bulldogs attacking. They lead 5-0 here in the 2016 USAFL Nationals, the last game in Women's Division 1 between the Bulldogs and the Magpies.
Paul said the crowd, Boots says your umpire, and now it goes, and that will be rushed through by Claire Algozin. So a six-pack, it is 6-0 for the Denver Lady Bulldogs all through the minor score route. That, I believe, is their first rush behind. And Ashley Singer, as we already have done the Moody Blues song, and it is a very good song, picking it up again is Lawless, who's been very active today. Out to the near side comes Kim Hemingway, who tried to keep it in by swinging and keeping that one, but it has gone out of bounds. Brian Barish alongside Peter Holden, who has done absolutely yeoman work and has really brought us a great voice to this national championships. It's a historic one, as we've seen a new champion this year. Adrian goes deep. It's picked off by Lawless right in front of her own goal area. Down they go. Throw a blanket over about 6 players, and Chris Adams comes in, the umpire, and he will declare a ball up. Up she goes. Hazen, I didn't think played the ball, but here it comes to Fair, throwing right off the defender, but it comes right back to her. Fair for a goal, and there's a goal by Monique Fair. And finally, the Denver Bulldogs huff and puff, and they get their first score, their first major score of the game. On the Cooper scoreboard, Denver 1-6-12 to New York, no score. 12-0 in favor of Denver.
As we speak, it looks like an injury concern for the New York Magpies, holding the shoulder there.
That's Alex Mims. Alex Pike.
And doesn't look too good there. Pike from the Baltimore Washington Eagles playing for the Magpies in this game. Let's just hope it was just banged up and a bit sore and nothing too serious.
Yeah, I think that's the problem. That's the one, I think, drawback with this format is that now you have a situation where really this game, in terms of the final standings, it won't change anything, and you just need to get through without injuring. We've already seen Caitlin Masher-Mays concussed. I think that might be, it almost looks like a separated shoulder for Alex Pike.
Shearer tries to get onto the football, 12-0. It is Denver leading New York, trying to get a hand pass away there. Koplo moved the football on, hurried little kick along the ground there by Samantha Wolf, didn't go too far. Now just being buried into the ground. Skiznoni, I'll get it right. Skonechny, thank you very much. She tries to get a hurried little kick away. Hemingway tried to do some shepherding work there. Big tackle laid on. Umpire just had pocketed the whistle there for a while and finally comes in and says, we better call for a ball up. McAllister gives the ball back to the umpire. Up in the air it goes. Once more we're away. Natalie Orff was trying to do the ruck work on that occasion. Hurried little kick off the ground by Tara Silky. Pardon me, in fact, it was Nia Hoda, the Irish girl. Monique Flair comes flying along, trying to hold up Singer. Singer kicked the ball in towards the middle of the ground. Flying through there is Plummer, who tried to kick in the fresh air. Hallie Adrian tried to get a little hand pass out. Didn't work out. Wilkinson was in there. Adrian got the hand pass to Baumgartner. Baumgartner, the kick ricocheted. Still at centre half forward here for the Denver Bulldogs. Oh, it's bowled over a few players, including Singer. Who's going to go in and get the hard pill? That's the question. Baumgartner throws her weight around but dropped the pill. Putting on the pressure there was Stablin. Umpire comes in and calls for the ball up. Centre half forward for Denver. They're attacking and they lead 12-0.
Denver with the ball. New York standing up to the Denver Lady Bulldogs here. I think it would be great to see them win, or at least they would like to see them win, especially considering the rivalry between these clubs and the Denver Lady Bulldogs. Here is Hazen. Hazen gets dragged to the ground. They call for ball. No call forthcoming. Everyone is standing around trying to pick up the ball. It's a team meeting back there. Now it's a little aggro twister, and out of that, the ball is kicked off to the side. Finds the field of play over the head of a leaping Lawless. Wilkerson throws her weight in and takes down the number 10 there in Meredith Ross. It comes out to Adrian. Adrian has a ball that drifts right. That one is bounced around. Castanek couldn't find it. And then down it goes. And now everyone down mushroom farming. The umpire, Nicole Fasula, crosses her arms like the Monsignor, and we will have a ball up. Brian Barish alongside Peter Holden. Thank you for joining us all weekend long here on USAFL.com. Nia Hoda throws that on to the right. Rick Buckle, our goal umpire, has declared a goal by Nia Hoda, Ialga Nia Hoda, one of the Gaelic players. By the way, the Denver Lady Bulldogs were a part of that, combined with the Denver Gaelic Association, to win the Division III Gaelic National Championships back in September. So Nia Hoda is one of those dual code players. On the Black Chrome scoreboard, that takes them on to 2-6-18. No score for New York, 18-0 Denver.
Here on USAFL.com, Peter Holden and Brian Barish with you. Thank you very much for your company this weekend. Of course, don't forget you can watch back all the games at any time, searching YouTube USAFL. Going to the USAFL website, just clicking on the 2016 Nationals, and then watch. It's simple as that. As they try to get a hurried little hand pass away, Ty Streff tried to put her hands in there. Watching on there was Hemingway. Hurried little kick away, got as far as Shearer. Shearer tried to get a little hand pass in there. In goes Adrian. Shearer wants to go in one more time. Katrina Shearer has had a terrific tournament for the Gillaroos and now playing again for the Magpies as the ball is on the ground. Umpire signals holding the ball. And it will be a free kick going the way of the Magpies. Let's see who takes it. Hemingway wants to know where the football is at. Everyone said look down. Oh, there you go. Kevin Hemingway, who kicked 3 goals for the Sydney Swans at the SCG. Now kicks it long on the right. Inside 50, ball hit the ground, and being wrapped up there is Natalie Wolf. Got the ball just stripped away from her. Castanek trying to get a hurried little kick. Silky now moves it straight down the line. Baumgartner takes a mark. Great body work, managing to get in front of Stablin. Baumgartner on the right boot, long inside 50 with a kick. Great grab. Running by the fly, that was Lindsay Castanek. And Castanek wants to wind herself back 50 metres out from goal. Comes in, kicks it towards the top of the goal square. Who's got hands of the football? Number of Bulldogs back there, but the Magpies defence holding up for the moment. They try to put it along to looks like it was, I'm trying to spot the player there. Missed it. And anyway, went towards the top of the goal square.
I think it was Durangui was who she was looking for.
Thank you very much. As the ball went through for, did it go out of bounds?
I think it went out of bounds.
No,
they're bringing it in.
Point. So Casillas will have the kick back into play. It's been a long day, ladies and gentlemen. My apologies. 2-7-19, leading no score. 19-0, Denver leading New York.
And it's Sunday night at Nationals, which means it's going to be a long night, too.
Oh, boy. Hello, Gator Club.
Yep, that's where we're going after this, right here. If you're in the area, come and say hello to us, the Gator Club here in Sarasota. Meanwhile, Mark dead in front,
Hazen.
as is Jessie Hazen, a former all-world team member at IC11. She goes off of one step, and that one is good.
In comes the umpire. He hasn't signaled, but I think we're waiting for the 2 flags. We'll get that. Yes,
and
that's a goal.
It is.
That's a goal. So that moves the score now to 3-7-25, leading no score. 25-0, Denver leading the Magpies. The Magpies, for the first half of this half, had been fantastic, but they're just simply running out of juice. And as always, you can only have so much energy in the tank, and for the other side, it's the class. The cream starts to come to the top.
The cream comes to the top, just like Cafe Con Leche, as Hazen spells another veteran for...
Or like a cappuccino, of course, that you just can't get here anywhere in America. What's going on with that?
Oh, well, we've already had your coffee rant. Meanwhile, Anna Thexton takes the field, one of the great ambassadors, not only of this Denver club, but also for the USAFL. She was an original member of the USA Freedom way back in 2008. Fair throws it on to the left, looking for the aforementioned Ms. Anna Thexton, and then out the back they come, looking for Eastlake, one-on-one. Hemingway way, was harassed. Wilkerson, who was about 6 inches shorter than her, somehow got up high. We have a whistle and a free kick. It'll go the way of the Denver Lady Bulldogs and Monique Fair, who has one of the 2 goals that has been scored, and that is halftime at the football.
And she wants a halftime kick. I don't think she's going to kick the 65 metres just quietly.
That is it. So it is halftime at the football, and the score at the end of the first 20 minutes in this final game of the round-robin tournament, it is 3-7-25 for the Denver Lady Bulldogs. No score for the New York Magpies.
Well, what an afternoon of football this has been. As we said, just 20 minutes to go here at the 2016 US AFL Nationals. As we said, go to YouTube, search for US AFL to be watched back any game on the Women's Division 1, Women's Division 2, or of course check out the men's divisions, including Division 1 men's home and away games, and of course their respective Division 1, Division 2 and Division 3 finals. And of course earlier they had the Masters and Legends game over there.
That was a fantastic game. We saw Dermot Brereton and Chris Whitman, a couple of premiership players for the Hawthorne Hawks, go through their paces with some of the old boys of the US AFL.
They actually got out there, pulled the jumper on and had a run around.
They did. Fantastic
to see. In fact, I might have to watch back the video of that. You can too. USAFL.com, 2016 Nationals, then click on that Masters v Legends game. Of course, a reminder to follow everyone online. You can follow USAFL 1997 or USAFL Women's on Twitter, and as well, Girls Play Footy on Twitter as well. And you can find USAFL on Facebook. We'll take this opportunity to take a break. When we return, we'll have the second half, the last 20 minutes of football from the USAFL Nationals 2016 Women's Field. 25-0, a lead to Denver over New York.
Beautiful San Diego, home of the 2017 US AFL Nationals, including, for the first time, an Australian division. Imagine kicking off your end-of-season footy trip in this amazing US city, with your club playing in the biggest football tournament in the world.
Black Chrome Sportswear designs and manufactures custom sportswear with a focus on quality and reliability. We're Australian, we've got 10 years experience, and we've got a US base in Oklahoma. Who better to trust than an Aussie company for your AFL gear? Get your customised men's and ladies' AFL uniforms, outerwear and training gear from Black Chrome. Black Chrome's custom compression can enhance performance and recovery, reduce lactic acid and accelerate your warm-up. Black Chrome is trusted by a number of AFL leagues, including the US AFL, as their official supplier. Try out our Design Your Own tool and see Black Chrome's full range of sportswear at blackchromeusa.com. Join us on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram.
And unfortunately, when I got to New York, no one was playing. Like I told people, I said when I fly out Wednesday,
Australian rules football? In the U.S.? That's right. The United States Australian Football League is in a city near you. Go to usafl.com, find your team, check them out. We're a group full of men and women just like you. Join us for the fun athletic competition. Stay for the camaraderie.
We are the champions!
Log on and sign up to join your team at usafl.com.
Black Chrome Sportswear designs and manufactures custom sportswear with a focus on quality and reliability. We're Australian, we've got 10 years experience, and we've got a US base in Oklahoma. Who better to trust than an Aussie company for your AFL gear? Get your customized men's and ladies AFL uniforms, outerwear and training gear from Black Chrome. Black Chrome's custom compression can enhance performance and recovery, reduce lactic
But I've got to
acid,
get a few
and
photos.
accelerate your
I've got to get a
warm-up.
few photos, and
Black
I did a couple of
Chrome
selfies of
is
on top of
trusted
the
by
rock
a
and there's
number
Central
of
Park in the
AFL
background and all of
leagues,
that.
And then, holy
including
crap, I
the
gotta get
US
my-
AFL
Yeah, that's
as
what
their
it was.
official
I got there with
supplier.
5 minutes to spare.
Try
Quick,
out
go
our
down the left,
design
go
your
down.
own tool and see Black Chrome's full range of sportswear at blackchromeusa.com. Join us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
In 5, 4, 3, 2, cue.
And welcome back to Lakewood Ranch Premier Sports Complex in Southwest Florida. This is the final half of the final game of Division 1 round robin series. Division 1 women at the USAFL Nationals. Peter Holden with you with Brian Barish, and kicking the football away there was Gallagher, who managed to get the football onto Hemingway, who put some big power behind that kick, went long towards the forward line. Streffel, the ball up, ended her. Russell now picks it up. KJ Russell tries to kick it towards the top of the square. An awkward bouncing ball. In comes a Shearer. She manages to get a hold of the player, Christina Shearer. Ball still on the ground. Picked up there by Streff. She is held up, stolen away from her by Russell. Her kick though is smothered. Goes in to lay another tackle. Ball goes into open space. Trying to slap the ball forward there was Sarah Plummer. Now they drive it for the Denver Bulldogs. Out in the space. Wanting Thexton to get on the football. Thexton gave the don't argue and then went on for the run. Kicked it in towards the direction. It looks like I think it might be Monique Flair. She goes in after the football. She can't pick it up. They're sitting on it now. Koplo over the top. She comes out and extracts the football. Grace Koplo going towards centre half forward. Bouncing ball. Shearer got worked underneath it. Went back and slapped it forward. Shearer has to go again. Shearer, can she extract the pill? No, she can't. It's all held up. Holding onto it with her is the 24 and Colleen McNabb, and we'll have a ball up. It's Denver 25 leading New York 0.
That was a pretty good move by Anna Thexton to beat another USAFL veteran, Drea Casillas. She shook her off like a bad case of the measles, and now back the other way. Here comes the aforementioned Casillas, and now that is Remillard, who kicks that on to Natalie Wolf. Wolf squares it up, but it goes off the side of her foot. Eastlake is there. She's thrown to the ball. Or check that. That was KJ Russell, and then soccered off the ground, and that is through for a minor score. So the first mark on the Black Chrome scoreboard for the New York Magpies. That is their first point. It's a 24-point difference, 25-1, as the ball will be put back into play by Jessie Hazen, who has moved into the back line. There's a long kick up the left-hand side, up to number 24 in there for Denver, going up against Singer. That is Colleen McNabb once again. Everyone down mushroom farming. The ball is kicked with the left foot, soccer ball. Here is Genevieve Wallace, who goes for it. Second bite of the cherry. She picks it up, falls to the ground, picked up by Nia Hoda, who passes it into the middle for, oh no, that was her. She kept it by herself. She gets away from Casillas, throws it onto the left into the middle, looking for Kastanek, and then there is Gallagher, who is able to harry Wilkerson, and now here is Thexton, who just gets it onto the right foot. It's a lead out for Clark. Or check that that's Fair, and she held her off the ball. Did Monique Fair, as she held off Ashley Singer. Free kick to the Magpies in the center square.
And she has the football, just looking around for some options. Hemingway presents to her, ignored, then goes long in towards the middle of the ground. Coming up to take the mark there is the 23 in Castanek. Castanek now with the football, decides to go for the wind up in the centre of the ground, kicking the Baumgartner direction, bouncing football. She's going to try and go in and meet it. In fact, pardon me, it was Janelle Myers. Myers now has her head over the pill. She is being harassed there by Singer. Myers goes in again, put on the right boot. This is Baumgartner now, swings around on the right. Oh, it just bounced and it wouldn't go through. It said, no, sir, thank you. And the ball bounced back. Has to go again. Second effort there by Baumgartner. Gets out the little hand pass. Dropping it cold there was the 7 in Thexton. Umpire blows the whistle and says, I'll call for a ball up. How unlucky was Baumgartner?
I've been very impressed with Jennifer Baumgartner in this game. She has really asserted herself. She's going to be one to watch as we go. She is trying to go in for the ruck as Davidson knocks it through. Here is Fair. She just throws it on to the right, and I think it's going to be a high tackle on Emily Reel. So Monique Fair, who already has 1 goal in this match, is going to try and kick this one from an acute angle against the wind in true Bob Seeger fashion as Cassie Wilkerson takes a much-needed break. In comes the number 9 in Sarah Chimilak. And that one has been kicked out on the full. That was closer to the Gulf of Mexico than the goals. And it will be a free kick, and it is the
Davidson.
It is the skull-capped figure of Taylor Davidson who has it. I was searching for the word skull-capped. She looks for Gallagher. It bounces in front. Adrian is there, but she can't pick it up. Wolf can or tries to. She gets the position. Just tries for a wild handball over to get it. I believe that's no, that wasn't Bremener. In fact, that was the 13, which is Plummer. And now out into the middle we go. Here is Meredith Ross, but getting over to get it here is Bloom. Brandy Bloom turns that one inside 50, but back to get it is Gracie Coplow. Coplow with a wounded duck. It was a whirlybird spinning up and down thing. I don't know. And now up on that far side, the far wing position up on the outer. Here is Katrina Scherer against Allison Bremener. She's able to try to get it through. She stays with the football. She's going to get thrown down. No call, says the umpire. And now here is 22, who is, I don't have. And then ball goes down. It's going to be holding the ball. That was Lawless.
Yeah, I was going to say Lawless, I think, from a previous game, which we didn't have as a 22, but had marked out as a 26.
That's true.
Now going for the direction where Casillas nearly interrupted it, but it was taken away again by the Bulldogs. Going inside 50, bouncing football. How's it going to sit? Janelle Myers feeds that little hand pass out. Chimilek, kick went off the side of the boot. 40 metres out from goal. Baumgartner gave off a don't argue. Gave up the little hand pass. Dribble kick along the ground. Davidson goes in to meet the football. Can't pick it up. Almost went with a scoop throw out. Umpire blows the whistle and says she got dealt with afterwards. And Taylor Davidson was a guest on the GirlsPlayFooty.com podcast prior to the East-West Showdown. She has the resulting free kick.
And one thing I got from that interview, by the way, was how cerebral that the New York Lady Magpies are, not just the players, but also Christina Licato's coach.
And, it's a turnover here. Monique Flair nearly had her shorts pulled down. Kindler was on top of the square. Janelle Myers kicked it off the ground. Goal for Denver. They're jumping up and down on the boundary line like someone told them, here's a free box of fireworks. Ooh. And they move to 4-7, 31. And it's New York one behind. 31-1, Denver lead New York.
There's a free box of fireworks?
I just came with that out of nowhere. I don't know where I found it. I said, "Here's a free box of fireworks. Have some fun. It's July 4th."
But I like fireworks. Why do you tease me like that? Janelle Myers with a great goal, and what's so great about that? You saw the team come over. She usually plays in the half back, but a great goal by Janelle Myers.
And look at that! The fist pump to the boundary line.
She is smiling like a butcher's dog. Janelle Myers, the former lacrosse player for Temple University, and we're back in the center of the ground again on the Cooper's scoreboard, 31-1. You know what? As you know, it's sad to see some injuries, but you know what? That's what's so great in a game like this. It's pretty much a scratch match, and you can see players get game experience at other positions. Meanwhile, here they come again on a Saturday night, or at least on a Sunday afternoon. Going to get it is Stablin, who is able to harass her opponent, but here is Kastanek. Kastanek from outside 50 chips it in short. Going after it is a couple of players. Boom Crash Opera. I believe that was Julia Meyer who was there. Yes, it was. Ball comes out again. Baumgartner is there to try to put the pressure on. Singer just gets it away, but it's held and marked. Jessica Gray will play on quickly. The kick is going to get held up in the wind. Meyer can't get it from her feet. Real's able to clear the danger for the for the time being. And here is Chimilak. Chimilak's going to run around the bootleg, throw that one onto the right. It goes across, and it's marked! Dead in front by Jennifer Baumgartner. And Baumgartner, of anyone on this Denver Bulldogs team, deserves a goal. It is her. It will come from about 30 meters dead in front. The score at 31-1 in favor of Denver. The kick is up on the way. It tails right. The umpire pats himself, points out the one finger. That is their 8th minor score to go with 4 goals. 32 for Denver, 1 for the New York Lady Magpies. Roughly halfway through this final half of the final game of this round robin here in the Division I for the USAFL National Championships Women's Competition.
And here's the kick out from full-back, an awkward bouncing ball, and it went past Gallagher, who couldn't pick it up. Plenty of numbers back here for the Bulldogs, including Sarah Plummer. Plummer now kicks it inside 50, flying for it, Julia Meyer. Couldn't hang on to it. Here goes Baumgartner again on the right. No, it won't come back. It's away to the right for a minor score. And that just ticks over the scoreboard here to 4-9-33 to 1 behind. 33 plays 1. Denver leading New York as Casillas from fullback goes with a long kick. Wants the player there, and Serpico, the stake expert, to run onto it. Then kicks the further afield. I was tongue-tied there. Can you believe it? It's been a long day.
Well, there's Konechny.
Shearer trying to pick it up, then move the ball forward towards the half-forward flank position. Julia Lee overran the football. Might want to go back and get it again. Feeds out the little hand pass. 45 metres out from goal. The Bulldogs have just stopped them in their tracks, and we will call for a ball up.
G. Baumgartner deserves a goal, I think, and the footy gods are working against her as the ball keeps getting blown straight across. That is Heather Serpico, number 10. That is my apologies, as Hazen trying to get her player off the ball, and now she finally wins it. It comes off the side of her boot, but right to Sam Wolf, who is stood up by Tara Silky, now by Nia Hoda. Over into the corner, now McHale will chase it down. The ball finds the boundary line as Cassie Wilkerson re-enters the game, and Jennifer Baumgartner takes a much-needed rest. On the Cooper's scoreboard, 4 goals, 9 behinds, 33 points Denver, 1 point only here on USAFL.com. Meanwhile, the kick has gone through for New York, and that one has gone through for a minor score, their 2nd score of the game. So it is 33-2. Yes, 33-2 is the score, and it's back down to 31 points.
As the ball is kicked back into play, Hemingway went flying through the contest. Now trying to pick it up, Nita Hoda. Now she has to try and extract the ball out as she's lying on the deck. Hemingway was finding in hard forward. She had a bit of push and shove with Hallie Adrian earlier. So a few kind words exchanged. Umpire comes in and says there's a push in the back. And it will be a free kick going the way of the Magpies. Samantha Wolf from 52 metres out. She'll try and huff and puff and blow the house in. Samantha Wolf just will use the agency of a 2-goal breeze. It is high and long in the air. Will fall short in the pocket. Oh, Hallie Adrian, all class. And her kick, though, you know what the old saying is, you praise someone, commentators curse. She puts the ball out of bounds on the full. Free kick going the way of number 75 there by the New York Magpies.
That would be Siobhan McHale. So here is McHale, one of the International Cup players from 11 and 14, and I reckon she's put that out on the full. And we talked about Janelle Myers being from Temple University. That is the T for Temple U sign, which also just happens to mean that the ball has gone out on the full. Jessie Hazen wearing the long pants. She'll put the ball back into play. Looking up and looking for Nita Hoda, and it bounces off of her head. Chimilak almost got to it. It went to the ground. Scherer overran it. Real didn't, and puts it on looking for Julie Lee. Lee, the Melbourne native, can't get to it before the ball goes out of bounds. Again, Cooper's scoreboard 33-2. And remember, if you're watching this game, we have one more huge game, the big show, the Division I Men's Grand Final, coming up at 4:30 p.m. The Austin Crows looking to go back-to-back in 3 out of 4 years, going up against the Golden Gate Roos, and the Golden Gate AFL looking to become the second team to win both the men's and women's Division I in the same year. Ball into the middle of the ground. Skonechny kicks for goal, and that one is just tipped. It stays in the field of play as KJ Russell got to it. Wolf with a swing and a miss. But after all of that, it looks like it's a throw, says umpire Nicole Fasula, and it will be a free kick to Hallie Adrian, the basketball player, among other things, and the captain of this Denver Bulldog team, along with the U.S. national side.
And when you talked about Julia Lee earlier, I'm going to have to help you on your Melbourne.
Melbourne.
Melbourne, you got it right, mate.
Melbourne.
As the ball has gone out of bounds, we will call for a throw in 50 metres out from goal. It is New York attacking, but they find themselves down 33-2 here on the USAFL Nationals, second half of the final game of Women's Division I. Putting the head over the ball there, can't quite extract it out. Going in again is Natalie Wolf. Tried to get it going. She dropped the pill. Fighting in there hard is Lawless as well. Can't extract it. Hurried little kick there coming out of the pack by Samantha Wolf. Big punch in the air. Got it across to Nia Hoda. She got caught, and the umpire said it was a throw, just as Streck was just about to come away with the ball. So it is a free kick going the way of the New York Magpies. Samantha Wolf. She is approximately 40 metres out from goal, but again with a strong breeze at her back. We'll be looking for the Magpies' first goal of the game. As we said, the Magpies so far winless in this tournament, being beaten by Sacramento earlier today. Big hook on the kick and no score, out of bounds on the full, and that means the Bulldogs will bring the ball back into play. Just recapping things earlier, Sacramento, 1 win for the tournament, that was over New York, 2 wins for Minnesota, that was over Sacramento and New York, and for the Denver Lady Bulldogs, it looks like there'll be 3 wins for them over New York, Minnesota and Sacramento, and for San Francisco, they did the clean sweep, 4-0.
That is, and it's their first ever women's national championship, led by Jessica Estrada, and I'll tell you what, there is a lot of teams I think would have deserved to get up over the Bulldogs. We're glad it's the Iron Maidens. They are a very deserving footy club. Meanwhile, here in this final game, we still have the business of getting through this match, and now as they look for a lead, the free kick is going up, and that one has gone out, and I believe that has gone out on the full. Didn't see who had the free kick, but in point of fact, it did not go anywhere near the goals. It is not for the want of effort that they have not only scored the 2 behinds, they've gotten a couple of chances, but the wind has not been kind to them. It really hasn't been terribly kind to either team. Denver's goals have seemed to be more around the goal mouth as we get set to...
Yeah, I think it'll be Hemingway kicking it back into play.
Yes, it is. It is Kim Hemingway from the... Oh, so here it is again. I'm sorry. I thought that it had gone out. So here is Kim Hemingway. The kick is up on the way. It's a wounded duck, and it has gone
out of bounds on the full.
Out on the full. Well, we'll blame the. Let's talk about Kim Hemingway for a second. We've already had the draft. I'd like to know what you think her chances are of her getting picked up as a free agent.
I think it may struggle now. I mean, there's much hope for players that are internationals to be drafted. You already had to have nominated for the draft to be a chance. Obviously, they've got to worry if they can get the visa sorted out. But, I mean, she had a great exhibition game. This tournament been okay, hasn't been able to get into it, but I think it's just because of how New York has been this tournament. The ball hasn't gotten down to her. She's now been moved onto it. But I would say, and I think she probably knows as well, the chances are a very long shot if she's going to be picked up as a free agent. It'd be fantastic for women's football in the US if the AFL did the smart thing and suggested to a club that she gets picked up. But again, it's looking like a long shot. Let's hope for an improved performance from her at IC17 in Melbourne in front of the Recruiters in August next year.
She kicks that one up, and I think that one has gone out on the full.
But that said, as much as we've been talking about Klatt, who's moved over to
Yes.
Melbourne, we've been talking about Hemingway. I'll be going back and watching through the tapes and writing on some of the players. There's been many other names that we've never called before that have stood up in this Nationals tournament that you could easily be playing state league football and fit into a side and be a star player.
Yeah, there's a few of them here. That one's going to roll on through, and that is a goal, and New York finally gets a major score. They have earned one, and they get it there. They get around her. And the first goal on the Cooper scoreboard of this final game, it is 1-2-8 for the New York Magpies. They trail by 25 points, 4-5-33 for the Denver Lady Bulldogs. I think, you know what, and that's the thing, I think that it would be nice as we talk about Klatt that she's moved over there, but really, and we talk about some of these players, you know, Melissa Armstrong is one player that we've talked from San Francisco that I think would be a very good player. The problem is you talk about the visa, she's a mother of 4, so I think, you know, it's really hard, you know, for her at her part, really part of her life at this point to get up and do that. Now, that isn't to say that it isn't possible or isn't probable, but it's just really difficult at this point. Streiff picks it up. She's going to run forward. She wants to get in on the action as looking, I believe, for Wilkerson. There she is. She throws it off the ball. Going over to get it is the number 10 in there, which is Julia Meyer. Wilkerson picks it up on the second opportunity. She's shoved down by Casillas, and then Casillas goes in on the second attempt. Here's Nia Hoda. Nia Hoda throws it on to the left. It goes out to the side, and I don't know if it found the field of play or not. In fact, I believe the signal is, yes, it is now out on the full, so a free kick to the New York Magpies from the shadow of their own goalposts.
Denver leading New York 33-8 here on the USAFL Nationals 2016. In fact, because it's gone out next to the post, it's a throw in, and the umpire's just signaling that to the players. Now they all come running in for it.
They changed their mind, I see.
Back into play. He's back in. Koplo was near there, front position. Pies with a big kick out towards the wing position. Who's going to run onto it? Hemingway in chase and does some great smothering work. Kim Hemingway now goes to pick up the football. Does a bit of a grubber on the left, looking for Katrina Shearer. Shearer, went without the football. Went back in and tackled again. Great effort. And the umpire comes in and says, oh, no, too high. Free kick. Thought it was a clear tackle, but nonetheless ends up there with the number 19, Alison Bremner. And Bremner kicks it out and finds a teammate between centre wing and half forward flank, outer side of the ground. On the right boot, long and high, and had it momentarily, then lost it. I think it was Brandy Bloom. Went back and got it again. Delivered inside the forward line. Was looking for Turner. Turner, there's the hooter! And that is the final game of the women's field here at the USAFL Nationals 2016 tournament. For the Denver Lady Bulldogs, for them it's second place on the table. For the New York Magpies, unfortunately for them, it's a winless year. They will finish bottom of the table. 4-9-33 Denver Lady Bulldogs, New York Lady Magpies 1-2-8.
And hats off for a good tournament for Denver. You know, they didn't continue the streak, but a 3-1 record. Bruce Norrell, they'll still at least take confidence in the fact that they played well. Hey, San Francisco's a good team. As for Christina Licata, it's back to the drawing board, but you know what? I think all of the rookies did very well to go through this season as best they could. I'm going to take off because we're actually about to start at 4 p.m. or so with the national anthems on Division I. But before I go, Peter, as you wrap up the show, thank you so much for doing such a great job on this women's tournament, both in Division I and Division II.
Thank you very much, Brian Barish. When I sent an email to the USAFL, said I'm coming over, they said we'd love to have you, and thanks for inviting me and being able to call on behalf of girlsplayfooty.com these USAFL Nationals. We see out in the ground the teams having a chat for the last time. As we said, top of Division I is the San Francisco Iron Maidens. They are the title winners for this year, ending a 6-in-a-row streak by the Denver Lady Bulldogs. Coming in second was Denver, coming in third was Minnesota, Sacramento fourth, and finishing last in Division I, the New York Magpies. The Sockeyes were winners in Division II earlier today. The Demons with Boston and Montreal and Chicago, Philadelphia, Des Moines, they finished second, and the Columbus Jillaroos with Baltimore Washington Eagles, they finished third on the table. So it's been a great 2016 Women's National Tournament. Coming soon, they'll be announcing the USA Freedom side. They will be the women that will be going to the International Cup 2017 in Melbourne from August 5th through to August 19. And of course, the Nationals will be back again next year on the third weekend of October in San Diego, California. And how ironic, the West Coast teams in Portland and San Francisco will be, of course, the teams defending the title there in San Diego. And for those in Australia, it's a slightly better viewing time. When the day starts, it'll be something like 9 p.m. in the evening on a Saturday and Sunday night, so you should be able to enjoy some of the games live. Remember, you can watch any game on replay by going to usafl.com, clicking on 2016 Nationals, then simply click watch, or just Google search or find it on YouTube. All the games will be up there from the Women's Division 1, Women's Division 2, and the Men's Division 1, Men's Division 2, 3, and 1 Grand Finals as well, plus the Masters and Legends game featuring Chris Whitman and Dermot Brereton. And of course, don't forget you can follow us on social media. The USAFL can be found on Twitter, USAFL1997. We can also find USAFL Women's on Twitter, and of course, me personally, from Girls Play Footy, you can find us on Twitter as well. On Facebook, just search for USAFL, or you can go facebook.com/Girls Play Footy to find all the latest footy news. Thank you very much to the camera crew and production staff. They have been absolutely fantastic today, particularly most of them watching Australian rules football for the first time, and they've had the 3 cameras here, the microphone set up, and the production truck. It has been a marvellous effort all round, including some interesting conditions yesterday when the rain started to come down and we nearly got blown away, plus the sunshine as well. It has been a great team effort. I'm Peter Holden from girlsplayfooty.com. Again, thank you very much for your company, and I look forward to catching up with you, hopefully at some stage during the AFL Women's National League when it makes its inaugural debut in February next year. Until then, goodbye for now.
Black Chrome Sportswear designs and manufactures custom sportswear with a focus on quality and reliability. We're Australian, we've got 10 years experience, and we've got a US base in Oklahoma. Who better to trust than an Aussie company for your AFL gear? Get your customised men's and ladies' AFL uniforms, outerwear and training gear from Black Chrome. Black Chrome's custom compression can enhance performance and recovery, reduce lactic acid and accelerate your warm-up. Black Chrome is trusted by a number of AFL leagues, including the USAFL, as their official supplier. Try out our Design Your Own tool and see Black Chrome's full range of sportswear at blackchromeusa.com. Join us on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram.